Don't shop for car insurance until you hear this one secret. Every day, insurance companies adjust their rates for one reason or another. They are constantly adjusting the prices for coverage, which means today, Company A has the best rates. Tomorrow, Company B. It's just like buying an airline ticket. How can you possibly know which company is the best match for you on any given day? Easy. Call We Speak Insurance. With their patented technology, We Speak Insurance matches thousands of consumers with the top insurance companies in America. We Speak Insurance is continuously updating the insurance companies and their formulas. Call We Speak Insurance and you'll know which insurance company is the best match for you. If you've just received your renewal, you bought a new car or moved, We Speak Insurance will connect you with the best company for you. Today, get the best match whenever you shop for car insurance. Call We Speak Insurance. 855-901-5258. 855-901-5258. 855-901-5258.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, everybody, live. This is Under the Mask Radio. This is your host, Tech, with...
NSC Game Boy, what it is, what it do.
And with our lead correspondent.
Shinblade with the Shy Hands. How's everybody doing?
We are doing well. Real quick, fans, today's episode is entitled Ask Sydal because we're about to bring him in right now, live. Former WWE superstar. His name was Evan Bourne, and current Ring of Honor superstar right now as Matt Sydal, international sensation, great guy. We're about to bring him on momentarily. Real quick, NSC Game Boy is live in California, representing our show. He was at Wrestlemania and was at other events. We're going to do something different this time. We'll let you know how to find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter later. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to start off hot. We're going to bring in right now, the man himself, Ring of Honor's own, Matt Sydal. Welcome, buddy.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Quite well.
Hey, good. Thanks, man. We do thank you much, Matt, for coming on to the show, your busy schedule.
All right. What do you guys got for me? What can I do for you?
All right. Well, what we're going to do is talk about, of course, your great career in the world of wrestling, and, of course, talk about everything that you definitely love and do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, NSC Game Boy, to start things off.
All right, Game Boy.
All right, man. First of all, I just want to say it's a pleasure having you on the show. My first question to you is that, and I know it's a question you hear so much, when you're flying in the air, what is the first thought that come to your mind?
It's a total lack of thought. It's thoughtlessness. It's mindlessness. It's called Satori. If you look it up, it's a Zen term. Basically, that frequency with which there's no thought involved. It's just the same way my heart beats is the same way I operate in midair.
So that's muscle memory, pretty much.
It's the same mechanism.
Okay.
All right. Shinblade.
Yes.
You want to start it off. You go ahead. Start off with your questions.
Well, he gave me a question to ask ahead of the question I was going to ask, but he referenced Zen, which I am a Zen student. It's about to be 12 years July for me being Zen. So tell me about your Zen life, Matt, and how long you've been infatuated with Zen.
Well, only the last few years, basically since I broke my foot, is when I discovered Alan Watts, and through him, a form of Zen Buddhism that I really enjoyed, just reading the philosophy of and reading a lot of allegorical tales and stories I always enjoy, and that's sort of what got me going down the road was basically Alan. his philosophy.
So, what inspired? Well, other than breaking your
I'll
foot.
tell you how it happened. I'll tell you
Okay.
what happened, man. I spent my whole life just solely relying on my body for everything. There's basically physically nothing I wasn't capable of doing. For example, being a 5'8" WWE superstar. I mean, there was nothing my body couldn't do for me. It was only when it gave out that I was forced to decentralize my approach to life, and I actually started to realize that, like, the way I perform in the ring is a version of me, and what forms me. Well, there's my worldview that forms me, and my worldview is actually really influenced by a deeper, higher level of a spiritual theory, and so I basically went to the higher level to look for answers, which then trickle down into my into who I am as a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Now, with you, Matt, we can call you Matt. Is that okay to call you, or is that fine?
Well, that is my name, so I would hope you would refer to me that. I mean, you can call me Air, you can call me Matt, you can call me Born. It's all good, man.
Okay, cool. Want to ask you, with your Zen life, and we mentioned before you seem real cool and calm. Also want to relate to fellow wrestler you was around, RVD. Have anybody else in the business of wrestling ever asked you any questions of how to live their life, more so like you, real calm, real cool, have more of a Zen life instead of being real, aggressive or real overly worked up?
Yeah, well, it's something you have to find yourself. I'm fortunate that I wrestle so frequently. The aggression that lives inside of me, I get it out every Friday and Saturday night. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't exercise that demon out of them. But, man, when I'm throwing high kicks and hitting shooting star presses, that's all that aggression. But for me, I feel more like I'm not just some, street thug. What I do is it's a samurai version of that. I mean, it's samurai pro wrestling. That's more what I do. And if you look at a guy like, for example, Kalisto, Samurai Del Sol, who just debuted on Raw, you'll see a lot of people have that same theory.
All right. Okay. We definitely want to ask you is that since you're currently working with Ring of Honor and you previously worked in WWE, have you had to adjust your style at all working in Ring of Honor since you're not with WWE anymore?
Well, I mean, the difference is just who I'm wrestling. I end up wrestling guys. A lot of guys in WWE are guys that, I would have wrestled 2 years ago in Ring of Honor. So there's really no difference between the styles. It's just who you wrestle and what they're capable of. And right now, the guys in Ring of Honor are capable of literally anything. And all I had to step up and remember how to wrestle just to be able to hang with those guys and how good they are. And there's some guys that, these are matchups that I'm worried about, but I'm going to approach them fearlessly and just walk into them head on and see how I do. I mean, you find out the hard way. This business isn't easy, and it's the world of sharks out there.
Yes, it is. NFC Game Boy?
Well, I just want to ask this part. What type of meditation do you apply now that you have adapted to Zen life? What type of, if you buy any certain foods, anything, what type of meditation techniques that you have now applied with this Zen life?
That's really hard to get into the detail of the spectrum, but what it did is it changed. Or you asked about how Zen changed my wrestling style, correct? Was that the question?
Yes.
I think you meant dieting.
Dieting?
Yeah, I'm talking about dieting. A lot of people who adapt meditation adapt different type of sometimes dieting, sometimes certain type of religious channels and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
I'm just wondering.
I have done a few specific dietas, but that's for just the plant medicines that I've taken. But basically, I've eaten healthy my entire life. Like I say, it's a lifestyle. I don't do diets. I don't do anything. All I do is the best I can every day. And when I say every day, it's every day. For example, if a wrestler says, "Oh, I trained really hard for this match," well, I just tell them I live my life 24 hours a day. There's no difference. There's no training or not training. There's just me living, and every day is me being better than I was the day before as a professional wrestler, as a human being, those are the things I do. So I don't need to like train or diet because that's just how I live. So I just live away. I live a healthy lifestyle because when I eat healthy food, it makes me feel better. It's a cycle that has positive reinforcement. When I eat broccoli and eggs for breakfast, I feel great all day. If I ate like 2 chocolate Pop-Tarts, I'd feel like crap. So I go with the one that makes me feel good.
Nice.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
I like that. Matt, you talked about how you broke your foot. Can you give us an example of, talk about that tough road that you had to go through of being injured and not being able to work in the ring and doing what it was that you loved?
From when I was 17, I started professional wrestling every single weekend. No Fridays and Saturdays doing anything other than that. I've never done anything else. And even before I started pro wrestling, I was wrestling in my backyard from 14, 15, 16, 17. Then I broke my foot, and I was out 2 full years. Totally different lifestyle. It was very hard to adapt, but it was the greatest lesson I could have ever gotten. It was a gift. I mean, I could have, had I not broke my foot, I would have wrestled at Wrestlemania that year, would have had a Mania moment, would have had a lot of things. I would have gotten some things. But what I got through this injury was a lot more. It gave me a chance to step back and reevaluate my whole life and think about where I'm going with my career and where I'm going as a human being. And I was able to right that ship, and WWE was kind enough to take care of me the whole time I was out. And when I got healed and healthy, was right about the same time I was released, and I was the best wrestler I've ever been on that day. And now every day since then, I've been the best Matt Sydal that's ever existed, and which means the best Evan Bourne that's ever exists right now, this very moment. And Ring of Honor is able to take advantage of it, and I'm able to display it to the world.
No, it was good. It was good.
Hey.
Matt, would you mind taking a couple of calls from our fans?
Give me just a second on that. Let me think about it.
Okay, there's no problem at all. No problem at all. If you don't mind talking about your time in WWE, tell us what was your mindset when you finally got called up to work in WWE? How was it for you? Did you feel happy? Did you have to adjust or get used to anything working there? Here.
Hey, my friends, I'm so sorry, man. I'm gonna have to run. I had something pop up. It was really great getting to chat with you guys, and I really hope some of your fans can follow me online at Matt Sydal, Sydal, on Instagram, at Find Evan on Twitter. Hit me up if you guys have questions. Those of you who I wasn't able to get to who had called in, send me a question on Twitter. I will answer it for sure, 100%, and then we'll be able to be set. Thanks, guys.
Okay, all right, no problem, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, everybody, we do apologize. It was Matt Sydal. Something apparently just got a text from him. Something did come up. He had to go briefly. That's why we have live shows. But with that being said, Anderson Game Boy, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. Like you said, it's a live show, everybody. You might got 30 minutes, you might got an hour, you might got 5. But, I'm glad that he had a chance to take his time out to address, the fans and everything and the show. And don't worry, we'll have him back on there, hopefully longer time, of course. But, that's what happens when you do live, it's unexpected.
Yes, it is. Shimblade.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, real quick, before we bring in Toph, and we'll have NSC Game Boy give his live report of being in California and WrestleMania. Let us know some of your thoughts of Matt Sydal, or even Evan Bourne, some of your memories of him wrestling in WWE.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember when he first came out, and it was just like this guy was about something. I remember he had a good run his first year until he got injured in his leg. He got a big rub as challenging Matt Hardy for the ECW title, and he got injured and came back, and it was just his style that he had that thrilled a lot of people that a lot of people don't see now. He would have been a great cruiserweight champion, in my opinion, but what a lot of people don't know is that he used to be on the show before Lucha Underground called Wrestling Society X, and that's where I actually knew him from. Had a female valet, and when I saw him, I said, "That's Matt Sydal from Wrestling Society X." So, he's a great guy. Met him back in November when they came to Baltimore for ROH taping. He was just so cool. I mean, very laid back and just zen, just like me. And if the picture wasn't so dark, I would post on the like page on Facebook. I probably still would, of doing the shy hands with me.
All right. NXT Game Boy, your favorite thoughts or memories of Matt Sydal before we bring in Toph.
Yeah, I remember him from Wrestling Society X, actually. And that was actually the same time I met him. An old homeboy of mine, he used to watch it, and he was the one that told me about it, and I remember watching it. And when he came to WWE, I was like, hey, I remember I was with my girlfriends at the time. They were telling me, like, that's the guy from Wrestling Society X. I'm like, wow, he finally made it. And, I used to love his move. I think he had a tag team with Kofi, correct? Or something?
Air
Boom.
Boom.
Did he have like a flight tag something with Kofi?
Yeah, Air Boom.
Okay. Well, I remember that, very vaguely, but I just remember his finisher, that them legs, all in the back of his head, hitting. It was a mean wrestling maneuver that really stuck out. And I'm glad we got a chance to kind of get him know him personally, with his Zen life. And I know, Shin, you can, relate with that. So, he's just a cool guy, and that's pretty much the only memory I really have of him as of right now, as far as the first time. But, we'll have him back on the show and get a chance to ask him more, his thoughts on Kofi and, the tag and everything, So, we'll make it work.
Yeah, just let everybody know that, this definitely is a live show, so as everyone joke around, anything can happen live. So just got to keep the show moving along. We're going to bring in Toph. Toph, you there?
Toph!
Yeah, what's going on, man? I was just playing Mario Kart, listening to you guys.
Okay, you're playing Mario Kart. Who are you using?
Some light skinned chick named Rosalina. That's what guys like these days. All about light skin.
Oh,
we really doing this?
Yeah, the word of Toph. You like light skinned chicks, Shin, from what I heard.
I like.
So good.
Well, I like brown women mostly.
Oh,
just not too black.
So cool.
Just not too black though.
Each his own. NXT Game Boy.
Yes, since we're talking about it, there's one thing that bothers me. I really dislike it when I'm listening to a wrestling podcast and they talk about a Divas match and it's like a black dude that's talking and he talks about how hot Natalya is, how hot Paige is, how high AJ is, and then Naomi's right there and they just totally ignore Naomi and I'm like, what? Really? Okay. Whatever.
You know what, Toph? Toph, you had a picture meme or something that was actually hilarious, and I think you and I were going back and forth in a way last night. You had a picture of Kurt Angle with the milk hose, talking about Naomi's pants got me, and it's the Kurt Angle with the milk hose.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So anyway, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What did you guys think about the Brock Lesnar beatdown last night?
I think he made Heidenreich proud.
Well, if anybody didn't get that, it is if you look up Heidenreich, I'm sure Shimblade or Toph posted on the page is that Michael Cole had a little meeting, if you will, with Heidenreich, who used to wrestle in WWE a few years back, so you can be able to get that Heidenreich reference. NXT Game Boy, I know you there live in California. Did you have any thoughts since you added the Brock segment?
Well, actually, I didn't see it until later because of the time difference. Raw comes on much earlier, for us across the country. So I didn't see it until someone, I think WWE posted it up on their Facebook, and I got a chance to see the clip. Now, here's a side note. I was at the hotel where the wrestlers were staying at, and one of my girlfriends, she actually saw Michael Cole get on the elevator and told me that he was very, very upset. He didn't speak to her or the other person on the elevator with her, but she just expressed to me, like, what happened to him. And at the time, I didn't know about, the F5 stuff. I just heard it. I think everybody kept saying he died. I was like, wow, but I didn't know until I was like, oh, I saw the video, and I was like, oh, yeah, he did die. So, that was the ghost of Michael Cole you saw on the elevator.
Let's talk about the real story. You said one of your girlfriends? Dang, man. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, I have more than one girlfriend.
Okay. You got the Godfather gimmick? All right.
It's the NFC life.
No, I'm not a pimp though. No, I'm not a pimp. I can't claim that. I'm fine.
They know about each other, so.
Yeah. It's the NFC life. It's all cool.
Well,
yeah, there you go. It's NFC life.
I will.
It's the Master Roshi life. That's what it is.
So what was your thoughts? What was your thoughts of the segment?
Man, Booker T, he was the star of the show. I like how that yell he did before the death fell on him, and like how he was just smiling, trying not to smile, and that guy was like, "You're all right, Book." That was the highlight for me. So
I missed that.
Yeah, go back and look at it. Right before Brock lifts the table, you actually hear Booker yell, and the camera zooms on his face, and you can actually see he's laughing really bad. And the guy's like, "Are you all right, Book?"
Well, I will say this though. Live, I did not watch that segment. I was at a friend's house and had a situation going on, and I walked out of the room and I saw it, and it was like everybody was laid out on the floor. So they recapped it, and like Brock Lesnar beat the hell out of the commentary team, and I saw it, I saw it on the replay. And the thing is that JBL and Booker T were former wrestlers, and they were down because of a desk flip. I did not see JBL get tossed around, nor did see Booker T get tossed around. I saw King Degree's security guards get tossed around. But other than that, I was on the internet, and I found the Michael Cole meme for Michael Cole, where it has a shoe in the ring, and it's a circle, and it says Michael Cole, and it has the dates up there. And honestly, fellas, we all thought that was funny, but there were some other groups that I actually ripped it and posted a picture of. People did not think that was funny. Come on, it was
shut your mouth. Maybe be all right.
No, I'm saying it was the shoe, and people could not take a joke. Michael Cole did not die.
These are probably the same people that really thought Tim White committed suicide on live national TV. Just remember that. Move from that. Just to let people know that off air, I just talked to Matt Sydal. He sent his apologies. He had to take care of something very important business-wise. He will be coming back on our show next month, which is technically tomorrow in April. So I will update you when Matt Sydal comes back in. So he does send his apologies to the show and to all of the fans.
You will be missed.
Now, with that, do you remember? We have to remember this because I thought the same thing. That the whole purpose is Brock had to look strong. Yes, we know it's JBL, and Booker T are wrestlers or former wrestlers. They still had to play the role of commentators. Just remember, when you're a wrestler, you can take any kind of abuse, but once you downgrade to a manager or to a valet or to a color commentator, now the smallest things can knock you out for the whole show. J&J Security are former wrestlers, but yet one punch can knock them out for 20 minutes. It's just when they was wrestling WWE, they got hit by the same punch and they got up within a second. So it's just all about the psychology there. I actually love the segment. It was a big, I guess, WWE because of OMG, oh my gosh moment. I thought it was great. Babe Mel loved it. I kind of had my head down. I said, "Babe, what the hell? Oh my gosh, he going crazy!" And it was great. You actually saw it because I had my head down. I didn't know that was Michael Cole in the air until I saw the shoe, and then I was like, "Wait, what else, Michael Cole?" I thought it was just some random guy. I was like, "Wait, this is Michael Cole," and because I thought it was somebody from J&J Security. But the segment was great. I wish Stephanie would have got F5'd, but that's probably not going to happen. He did his purpose.
I got a quick text from a fan named Chad Smith, and he says hashtag hire Matt Stryker.
Yes,
that's
he
funny.
did say that. I also did like the fact that the segment after the Brock incident, they still kept it to where they showed Michael Cole, Eric Cole getting stretchered out, and Booker T was down, and Booker T and JBL was knocked out. But it's something a fan mentioned to me on Facebook earlier today that I didn't think is that, hey, the Spanish announce table survived. And it's actually true. Normally, everyone knows the Spanish announce table is normally the first to go. But for the first time in history, the American announce table, the regular announce table, got destroyed before the Spanish announce table. So things are changing in the world. Say that again?
Was it even there? Was the Spanish announce table even there on the show? Okay, because, if they put it in the back room in the parking lot, it still gets smashed, every show.
We do know it was there, but it definitely survived for that. NXT Game Boy, you being there live, seeing the salty Michael Cole. What was your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, it was okay. Shout out to the crowd. I think the crowd really made Monday Night Raw. The crowd was really into it. I enjoyed the sing-alongs and stuff. The Suplex City, the John Cena sucks, New Day sucks. You know what I mean? They
sucks.
Yeah, it was just the crowd. The crowd made Monday Night Raw. Like, Monday Night Raw would have been alright, but the crowd really took it to a whole new level. And when there's only so much editing that you can do. When they doing the wave in the middle of a match and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he just pretty much is showing you. We really don't care. But it was cool. It was Raw was okay. I wish I had a chance to go to Raw, but I was taking care of some other business. So I didn't have the chance to go to Raw. But I did get a chance to talk with some of the alumni of WWE, and I got a chance to see. Oh! Shout out to motherfucking Seth Rollins too, 'cause he's really a dick. But I mean, I was no more than 2 feet from Seth Rollins, and I watched him pretty much shit on all the fans outside the hotel. I mean, he's a heel, so I understand he's supposed to do stuff like that. But that was classy. His heelness was definitely on point. He's a way better heel than I ever seen. But I saw Hogan, and of course I got the picture with Jimmy Hart and everything. I talked with Jimmy Hart for a hot minute. I saw and talked to Sting for about maybe 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't cost you $1,000 for an autograph, did it?
And I walked past Rusev and Lana. I walked past Rusev and Lana like they were nobody. And I think Rusev was kind of shocked because I didn't run to him or whatever. I purposely just I'm not a mark, so I just walked past him like he was nobody. Excuse me, and just walked past, no autograph, no nothing.
Anybody watches the show Empire, shout out to Babe Mel, and also shout out to my boy Baby MJ. Happy birthday, brother. They made a reference
man.
Yeah, happy birthday to our boy Baby MJ, who will be listening very soon.
Get the dance another year.
Babe Mel mentioned how Lana looks like Anika from Empire, and that is actually kind of true. So, Lana.
What show is this?
Empire. I'm not sure if you watch it, Shen. It's a character named Anika from the show Empire. and I'm sure NXT Game Boy knows about it. I know Alana does look like Anika, especially from WrestleMania.
I didn't realize Rusev was that small.
Really?
He's not.
Really?
He's not. A lot of these. That's one thing I've learned this weekend. A lot of these wrestlers is not as big as I thought they were. You know,
we let you know that.
A lot of these guys are small. If they ain't small, they fat.
And NXT Game Boy is the same height as I am, and we met wrestlers, and they're just like short. And one wrestler that I was shocked was Ricky Steamboat when I met him, because he's like Kevin Hart size.
He's not that tall.
I'm like,
well, wait a
dude,
minute.
Like,
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait, no, do not do that to Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat is not Kevin Hart's height.
Kevin Hart.
You do
He's
that
your
to
height.
No.
He's your.
All taller than Kevin Hart, except for King DeGray.
Well, let me say this.
Jamie Foxx, then.
Let me say this. Let me give a special shout out for a wrestler that really made my weekend, and that's Kevin Nash. Because I talked to Kevin Nash for about 2 minutes. Shout out to David Hero for
shout out.
David Hero, man, yo, Hero, listen to this show. The boy love you, man. Good looking, man.
Yeah. We do love
Kevin
you, man.
Nash, that's a funny dude, man. Me and Kevin talked about 2-3 minutes, and he's a big fan of Baltimore, so you already know what it is and everything. Got a couple pictures with him and stuff and everything. But and actually heard of our show. He actually heard of Under the Mat. Yes, Kevin Nash has actually heard of Under the Mat. So, I mean,
did he tell
shout
you
out to him and congratulations to him for the Hall of Fame inductee.
That is. Definitely. That it is very good. And yes, it is true, fans. Some wrestlers in WWE or pro wrestlers, they're not really as big when you see them in person, unless you're a Big Show or the late Nelson Frazier, Big Daddy V, or Khali. So some of them really don't look as big as you would think. But still please do not take that as I could still be butthole or be a dick around these guys, because these guys are professionals. He probably will knock you out. Hence Booker T. I've seen it myself at a show where Booker T almost slapped the hell out of a fan for touching him on their shoulder. Yeah. So, definitely. So, Toph, we heard NXT Game Boy starts on Raw. We'll get to WrestleMania a little later. Toph, what is your thoughts on Raw Mania or Raw after WrestleMania, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, I thought the show was good mostly, just the ending was really flat. Usually at these shows you have a heel turn or a face turn at the end or somebody coming back, and this year you just got a 6-man tag with Roman Reigns, and that crowd didn't really care for him. You've consistently had, these crowds turn on Big Show every year, or they resort to doing a wave or just chanting random things, and overall I thought it was a good Raw. Just the ending was flat.
There was a return actually on Raw. Not sure if anyone cared. It was the return of Sheamus with the mohawk and whatever the hell Celtic facial hair.
It was
and
extra beard.
Yeah, Sheamus, man. Shout outs to Sheamus. He looks like an extra from the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Yeah, bless his heart, man.
that never happened.
Game of Thrones.
That was a bad movie. That was terrible.
Or Waterworld, if you remember that. Kevin Costner, remember that movie?
Oh, God.
Waterworld. Yeah. Did that happen?
That movie's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now, man. That's Sheamus's gimmick, man. He's going to be Blackbeard. He's going to be like a pirate. Sheamus is in the wrong era. He would have fit in just fine in 95.
But yeah, about 94 with the Goon and the what was the magician dude name?
Presto Changeo or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Where his finishing move was he'll steal your draws from your pants without. Where his finishing move was he'll steal your draws out your pants without whatever.
I've always said if I was like Vince McMahon's nanny or whatever, and he's like on his deathbed and he's getting ready to die, if I could ask him one question, I would be like, Vince, 95, man, what were you thinking?
Yes. Let's not forget, also random news, Waterworld came out in 1995 starring Kevin Costner. this movie tagline was "Beyond the Horizon lies the secret to a new beginning," which no one actually watched this movie. And you can't interrupt random news, Shin. You know that.
No, you always do it on my road blogs, and it makes everybody sick.
Oh, well, that's a little different. Also, this movie made so much money. Actually, at the time, it was one of the most costly movies to be made, one of the most expensive, and yet didn't make any of that back at all. I'm sure NBC Game Boy watched Waterworld, and I know he tries to act like he didn't watch it at all.
I watched it. Actually, I watched it a couple times. It wasn't because I wanted to, probably because I was too lazy to get up and change the channel. But I've actually remembered it. One thing I do remember is that the movie Battleship that came out a couple years ago, they actually went back. They asked the crew of Waterworld some tips on how to do a movie on the water, and they told them to have a lot of extra props and the extra things, because if it breaks down, you got to fly it back out and all that. So my thoughts on Waterworld is it helped Battleship, which was another crazy movie or whatever. So no, it is what it is.
Was Waterworld better than Battlefield Earth?
Oh God,
I've never seen Battlefield Earth.
Toph?
Yeah, what's up?
Damn.
But did you ever see Battlefield Earth? Was Waterworld better than Battlefield Earth?
No, I haven't seen any of those. I haven't heard good things about Waterworld, and I'm aware of it. I just never bothered to look at it because everyone I talked to said it was bad. Battlefield Earth, same thing.
Actually, Shin, is that the one with John Travolta?
It's like a Scientology movie with John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker, and they got these little strange makeup. They look like aliens or something.
His eye was Forrest Whitaker's eye. Was that still like the way it was in the movie?
Oh my God, Tech. Oh really?
Actually, I will say I did see Battlefield Earth, and Waterworld was better.
Okay.
And fans, just let you know how much we cared about the return of Sheamus. That we just had a 2-3-minute conversation about the movie Waterworld and Battlefield
But wait
Earth.
a minute. There were arrivals.
Yes, it was. Shumblade, you can go ahead with that.
I marked out when Adrian Neville came out, the former Pac in the Indies, and also I think if they got called up, the Lucha Dragons, which they got a big pop out of the crowd.
It is,
for that.
Yeah.
That was
Neville looked like Mickey Mouse off of that Fantasia movie, man.
Well, it could have been. They could have had that angle where they were talking about him being Mighty Mouse, which got scrapped and abandoned, just like Kalisto's gay hairstylist gimmick. But really, Toph, I want to ask you, what did you think about the crowd compared to the last 2 years of Raw after Mania?
It was okay. It depends on what you have to work with. This year is mostly just about fans wanting to see wrestling, NXT stuff. There wasn't really any humorous stuff to go with, like the Fandango song. That was good material. There wasn't that many throwaway matches this year. So it seems like these crowds, they tend to do silly stuff when there's throwaway stuff. I'm reading reports that there was a lot of bad stuff going on during the Divas tag, and it was during the commercial break where they were basically chanting sexual chants at all the Divas except Paige for some reason. Maybe it's because she looks like Casper. I don't know. So
I thought everybody liked Paige.
No, I don't. I'm not really a big fan of Paige. She doesn't do anything to me at all. Just her wrestling, I never really. I mean, much respect for her. Is just.
I think it's the fishnets. A lot of guys like that. It makes them think they're watching porn. So I don't know.
Oh God! Well, does Cameron get you going, Tech?
No, not really. Not at all either. Just
with her spaced out teeth.
Well, you know more about her than I did. But much to Paige, I understand why WWE uses Paige and how they can use her for business. But some people you can get with, and some people you just can't. And Paige is one of them. don't really get with her too much at all. But I will give her that her in-ring work has gotten a lot better, and how she has improved in the ring and has had quality matches. So I'll give her that much.
Actually, there was a chant in the crowd that I found funny, but it was like the wave they also did. I remember 2013 they kept chanting the commentators' names, and they would get up and acknowledge the crowd, and everybody would just cheer for them like they were all drunk at a soccer game. So
yeah,
I think it's just getting less and less and less. And then if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar, I think the crowd would have been a bit better than maybe last year.
I mean, if now I'll say this, and I'll turn over to NFC Game Boy. For the crowd reactions, I thought this year's crowd for Raw, even though it was very hot, I thought it was okay. I thought last year's Raw after Mania and the year before was a little more vocal. This is my opinion. Well, what you think?
For me, it just depends, like, on what's on the show. I think that some of the post-Mania shows last year were not particularly good, like the booking or like what was there, you know. So it's like when the product isn't good, fans say more. But when the product is good and there's nothing to say, it's just hype fans, you know. I mean, you actually had a lot of good wrestling last night. You had Ambrose and Cena. You had Ziggler and Bryan. You had Lucha's debuting. You had Neville debuting. There was actually a lot of good stuff. If you look at, for me, the post-Mania Raw on 2013, the one after WrestleMania 29, I thought that was one of the show wasn't very good because if you remember, Lesnar, Punk, and Rock were advertised to be there, and neither of them were there, which made the fans pissed. And you had Cena doing his usual Cena thing, and you had Henry doing his that's what I do thing, and you had Ryback, and at the time some fans liked him, some fans didn't like him. You know, I mean, there wasn't really that much positivity going on at the time outside of Shield and Ziggler, who cashed in that night. So for me, I think when the product is good, that's when you have, like, you know, you're going to have a hot crowd, but they're not going to, you know, do silly stuff. But when you have a product that's not good or in particular a match that no one cares about, I think that's when you're going to have craziness. And like we saw last night, every time Big Show is in these crowds, don't care.
Gosh.
So.
Yeah, no one does.
What was
NFC Game Boy? Hold on, Shane.
Okay.
NFC Game Boy?
Yeah. I mean,
what
you know,
was
well, like I said earlier, I mean, I think the crowd really it helped along the show. It made it more. I guess having that interaction where you kind of felt like they were speaking or reading your mind, because a lot of the stuff they were chanting, that's how you was feeling anyway. So, you know, overall, you know, it just like Toll said, to reiterate, you know, the show wasn't bad. It just wasn't that good. You know, coming off of WrestleMania and stuff, you know, I think the expectations were so blown away and everything, and the way the WrestleMania kind of went. You know, everybody, you know, Raw was kind of just like, you know, more or less a fumble in trying to really pick up the pieces and stuff and showcase some new things. I don't really know. Like I said, I wasn't there, so I'm just going by me being in the hotel and me seeing it on television. So
you
can't really.
was there, but you wasn't there.
Yeah, I was where I needed to be instead of where I guess people wanted me to be. I was where I needed to be, and I leave it like that. But you know, that's pretty much how I felt. You know, the crowd was pretty much saying what we kind of already knew in our minds. You know, John Cena sucks. You know, we hate Roman Reigns for the reasons we see. Yeah, we can't stand New Day sucks. I mean,
New Day
C-Flex City, you know, Brock, you know, everybody knows C-Flex City and stuff. I mean, like, that was real good. I mean,
Shout out to the Wave. Shout out to the Wave.
Oh yeah.
And the Wave came. Yeah, the Wave came and took over, and oh man, it was spiritual almost on that. I mean, everybody was just feeling it.
Did you get a tingling feeling, GB?
Yeah, to get the tingling feeling.
No tingling from the wave. Hey, Kelly. Shimblade. The comment.
I have to ask this, though, but what was up with Tom Dubois being on Raw?
Everybody doesn't know that is
that was Tom from the Boondocks, Byron Saxton, black coachman, what I call him.
I was waiting for somebody to get that.
You didn't see it this morning? You inspired me. You inspired me, Toph, to do the who did it better, Byron Saxton or Tom Dubois from the Boondocks.
Like how much corny can you get, yo? Like this dude is like the epitome of just coon, yeah. Like
no one really likes him. Even
yeah, man. Let me go ahead and speak on this dude right quick. As a wrestling fan, I like watching wrestling. It's definitely a passion of mine, but I've never really considered working for WWE. I've always just been complacent. I've been okay with just watching it. Then I see guys like Baron Saxton, and guys like him really make me consider, maybe I could actually try to work at WWE. This dude, he's garbage. Baron Saxton, he is a new breed of, and I don't want to get off topic because if I go too far into this is going to escalate into a completely different topic altogether. But Baron Saxton, he's a new breed of African-American trash where it's these dudes that they look the part. Like, if you look at Baron Saxton, like, he looks good, no blowback. Like, he's well dressed. He's not too dark. He's not too light. He always wears a suit, But if you actually listen to him on commentary, he's really not that good. He's kind of clumsy. He fumbles over his words. When he does his backstage, he looks lost. When he does his backstage interviews, he doesn't really take any initiative. Like for instance, the coach. I love the coach. He had personality. He wasn't just a backstage interviewer. Like he added his own swag to his interviews, and when he was on commentary and stuff, like Baron Saxton, this dude, he's what I'm trying to say to those of you that aren't really feeling where I'm coming from right now, we got to have some black people working for the company, so let's just hire this guy because he looks the part, So he's really not that good. I know every single person on this phone could commentate a match better than he can, and I'm not hating on him. He's making his money, but, I mean, he looked like he was just a deer in the headlights last night. And I understand when you're on Raw, you got Kevin Dunn, you got Vince screaming stuff in your ear. He may not be used to that. Maybe he's never done a commentary in front of a crowd before. But to just send him out there by himself, I mean, it didn't do him any favors to, any other fans out there. But I don't think he's very good at all. And pretty much what Tech just said, he looks very lost. 90% of the time when he's on TV, he just looks like he's happy to be there. And I hate his shit-ending grin. He's just always grinning like he's happy. You can tell he's just happy to be there. No, man, it's annoying. No, man.
Smile?
No, stuff like guys like him make me want to move to Florida and like work my way up NXT just to kick him out. I hate that dude.
He ain't got to move to Florida. He can just fly to Florida, drive to Florida, and then do it and drive back.
Oh, Lord.
But, okay, I
actually have to agree with Toph on this. I don't really know too much about this guy, but when I was watching TV, he looked so lost, and I could see, like, Jerry King came out there, and King kind of had to, like, really,
he
like,
was asleep.
Hold his hand and pretty much pick up the slack, because it was like, it was a lot of blank spots in the matches where it was just no commentating. Like, you can't just be quiet and watch the action. Like, you got to talk. You got millions of people watching across the world, and it's, like, quiet. I'm like, the hell?
Just do the baseball theory.
Look at the...
Talks, just put the TV on mute and just watch the action.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that Byron Saxton used to wrestle in FCW, and I guess what the public relations did or whatever, they said, I'm not to diss him or anything like that. I haven't seen his matches, but I'm guessing to say your wrestling sucks, so let's try to make you a commentator or interviewer.
Yeah, he's like Josh Matthews. He just couldn't hack it as a wrestler, so he tried out as an announcer. But Matthews, he had some talent to it,
As much as we don't like Byron Saxton, It could be worse.
Better than New Day.
Could be Mike Adamle. We could also have the rebirth of Alex Riley on the pre-game shows and the post-game shows. Byron Saxon's at least better than him.
But he's there. He's there to fulfill. He's there to fulfill a quota because he's there to fulfill a quota because we got Booker T commentating on Raw and you got Baron Saxton commentating on SmackDown. Now I could be wrong here, but isn't this the first time in WWE history where we've had like two different commentary teams, each with an African American on it? Has that ever happened before? I don't recall this being happening in the past.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's never happened before.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why he's there. He's there to fulfill a quota. And right now, if you look at their developmental stuff, they don't have any other African Americans trying to be an announcer. So, like I said, guys like Baron Saxon motivate me to actually want to, go to the actual corporate WWE website and see what you got to do just to get hired there, because if he can work there, I know any of us can.
Right, and I'll mention this real quick. I know we got a few callers. Is that there is a true. But I actually like him. There's a famous wrestling family. I'm not gonna mention names. That's famous and synonymous with WWE, and some of their family members aren't fans of Byron Saxton anyway. Just to let you know, and I've got that legitimately from the source. So not only are we here under the Mat Radio, and we're not dissing him, we're not hating against him. Just because people have opinions doesn't mean that they're hating. We have a right to have an opinion. We're not down on the brother at all. Just his work is just stale.
Can we go positive?
With that,
we got Ian Styles as an announcer.
Ain't true, but it's not really a commentator. Not really a commentator.
No, that's a positive note.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we do give it up for Eden, Cody Rhodes' wife. Bringing in now, buddy Nate. What's up, Nate? Nate, you there? Nate.
Hello.
Nate, where you at? Nate.
Okay.
Not sure what happened. Go back to that. Okay, we have a area code 504. Welcome to you Under the Mat Radio.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome to Under the Mat Radio. You got any questions to talk about WrestleMania or Raw?
Oh yeah, man. I have a lot to say, but I mean, yeah. I called in. I was having issues on my iPad, and I wanted to listen to the show, so I just called in to listen. But
sure.
But I'm always down. I'm always down for talking and telling you, my take on what's been going on.
Cool, and just to let you know, once you're done, we'll keep you on the queue so you can listen to our show until we're done, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Cool. Can we get your name?
Yeah, my name is Brandon, or Rex, or ATM from New Orleans.
Nice.
All right.
Well, yeah, you got, I'm a rapper, and I used to wrestle, and you got my real name, so there you go.
Okay. Thanks much, man. Right now we're talking about Monday Night Raw that just happened, and I wanted to get your viewpoints on Monday Night Raw. What was your thoughts?
I didn't see most of Raw.
Okay.
That's my biggest issue, and I only got feedback from just some people who I keep in touch with and everything. I know Sheamus came out and he got some odd chants. I mean, I pretty much know what went down, but I didn't get to fully view it.
Okay. Well, with that's fine.
Who's laughing at me? Who's laughing at me?
I'm not sure who's laughing. It's not me. Is that you, Shan?
That was me because of the Sheamus. When he came back out, it was like a surprise, but also it turned real ugly real quick with "You look stupid" chants.
Yeah, see, that's what happened. My boys who do a podcast, they were there, and they said like in their whole section they were overwhelmed by "You look stupid" chants. And did he? I mean, this is what I heard, but did he really come out with a mohawk?
Yeah, he looked like a troll doll.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I posted that on the group page and said that that was Sheamus last night. But I didn't do a who wore it better because everybody would have voted for the troll doll because Sheamus would have been disqualified for his hipster beard with the beads hanging off. I think that's it's a kind of a man law violation. We'll ask Snitsky about that.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Sheamus is like a rapist off of Oz.
Does he want to mention, Rex, what you got you here? Of course, you can discuss WrestleMania. I'm sure you saw WrestleMania. What were your thoughts overall of it?
Oh, my main thoughts coming out of it was pleasantly surprised.
Amen.
Okay.
You know, I felt like there was a lot of garbage that could have come out of this, and I mean, Big Show, you know, he won the Battle Royal, but the thing is, what really mattered about that match was Sydal, you know, doing his thing.
Right.
And I might be biased because, I mean, WrestleMania was here last year, but I think for almost in-ring action, I think it might have been better than it was last year, and I'm really biased about last year because that was probably the best wrestling event I've witnessed in my lifetime. I mean, but that's including WrestleCon, ROH, and everything that comes along with it. Access, me meeting Ric Flair, you know, all that stuff comes along with it.
Well, you got to meet the Nature Boy Ric Flair. If you don't mind telling us, how was that experience?
Oh, it was fantastic, and guess what? I didn't have to pay.
Nice.
Because the prices were nuts at WrestleCon. They were.
Would you mind letting us know how much it cost to meet Ric Flair?
Around 40, around 50, somewhere in between 40 and 50, I think.
Wow.
Slay that, bro.
And real quick, Rex, too, let us know your favorite WrestleMania, your favorite match from WrestleMania before we. But it's going to mute you. Like I said, we're not going to disconnect you. I'm going to mute you so you can listen to the rest of the episode. But let us know your favorite match at WrestleMania.
Well, I can keep talking and stay on the show if you want me to. I'll be quiet. But if not, I understand. Cause it's your show. It's your show. I mean, I know how that goes.
No, I understand.
But yeah, what happened is I almost bumped into some old man, and the old man turned around. I told him, excuse me, and it happened to be Ric Flair. So that's what happened with Rick.
Oh, crap.
My favorite match in particular?
Yes.
Ooh.
I don't know. I really have a soft spot for Bam Bam Bigelow and Lawrence Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
The match of 1,000 forearms that made Chris Hero jealous.
That's all I could say, but I can't pinpoint one. You know, I'm joking, but
he could have said Brett versus Vince at WrestleMania.
Oh no, that never.
Oh man, no, that's taking it a whole step further.
But
you could have said the midget match out of WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but your favorite match from this past WrestleMania 31.
Oh, I guess I would.
Ooh.
I mean, this is not really the way I would go towards, but I feel like right now I'm leaning towards the main event until until I watch it again.
Oh, okay.
Just for the fact of and it's crazy. My girl predicted this on my show a month ago. She said what's going to happen is Brock and Roman will wear themselves down so much that Seth can easily just cash in. And I'm like, I don't know, that's a little far-fetched. But she's usually not wrong, and she was right.
Wow.
Hey, gotta get shout out to the wifeys.
Is she the Dolphin person
yeah.
on Reddit?
Shout out to Mrs. Rex, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that.
Shout out,
Mrs. Rex. Yeah.
You tell Mrs. Rex we said hi. Like I said, Rex, we're going to get to some more callers, but we're going to keep you on. We're going to mute you so you can listen to the rest of the show, okay?
Yeah, of course, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Buddy. No problem,
no problem, man.
You got to call back more often.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rex, and thank you for representing the city of New Orleans. All right, you're cool. 410, you're live on Under the Match Radio.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Doing good. This is Saltine.
What's up? What's going on?
Hey, buddy.
What y'all?
Real quick, what's your give you a quick overall thoughts of Raw before we start talking about WrestleMania.
All right, two things I know. The one, what's a shame is, oh my God, he looked like a damn troll. He really did. And instead of bro, he could say troll. Doing the bro kick.
Yeah, they could do that, the troll kick.
The troll kick. That's what it should be called, the troll kick, because he looked like a damn troll, a redhead troll.
Wouldn't that be midgets to do that?
Huh?
Wouldn't that be midgets to do that? Oh, really?
Yes.
Mini views?
Oh, my God.
Okay. So you got Sheamus, and what else did you want to cover?
The Brock Lesnar. Oh. When Seth Rollins hits for Brock Lesnar, I say, oh, man, you fucked up now. Because I knew he was going to snap battle and just go crazy. I say, this is about the time when Brock Lesnar going to snap. And he did, and I predicted that. Everybody was getting fucked up instead of the Spanish announce table. And it was like, yeah, Spanish announce table rule. Now they can say, ha, 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 the American people got beat the hell up. We won. And it was just so freaking funny, and I was like, finally, we got beat up.
They got their butt whipped.
Yeah, you can say it like that.
Okay.
Well, it was just hilarious. That was the only two parts I seen. I wasn't really interested in Brawl because the crowd was basically the whole show. That was basically it, and I'm like, do I even feel like watching this? So I would just listen to the crowd chant. I had the TV on me the whole time. I just seen Sheamus and the Brock Lesnar one.
You won't call in Moni Raven again, were you?
No. No.
Well, Saltine, let you know, we have NFC Game Boy on the line all the way from California. NFC Game Boy? Got any words for Saltine, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, fine. Just chilling, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. I'm glad that you watched Roman Reigns get his butt whipped.
Yes. It was enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. I wanted the Brock Lesnar to win it all, but Seth Rollins came in sneaking, and it was like, okay, it was bittersweet for him. I gotta admit, that was a little what's the word I could say? What word I could say? How could I a swirl? That's what
crazy.
It was a big swirl to me. I was like, wait a minute, he gonna come in like that? Oh man, I wanted Brock Lesnar to win, but it was nice that he won though. He deserved it. He deserved it.
Now, NFC Game Boy. I apologize for that.
It's okay. Don't worry,
NFC Game Boy.
You know how we are.
You didn't know this, but Saltine had a very, very passionate and strong moment during the main event. I'm gonna let Shimblade talk about that.
Play by that.
All right, my damn assistant Saltine was foaming at the mouth every time Roman Reigns got up and made offensive moves to Brock Lesnar. He was like, kill. He was foaming at the mouth and busted my damn eardrum in my right ear by screaming to the point where Ghetto Tony actually spoke. And,
yes.
and it got to the point where he just said, Saltine, shut up. And it was just to the point where, like, somebody had to rub his belly to get Saltine to calm down and everything. So it was just crazy. And I had to miss him when the night was over.
Yeah, that's how real
crazy,
got
man.
NFC Game Boy. Ghetto Tony even mentioned said words.
Oh yeah. By the way, we got a hashtag from Toph that says that Sonic Extra Life ringtone though.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he heard that.
Yeah. And shows from the NFC Game Boy phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll say thanks much to our team for calling in.
Thank you.
Don't
guys.
give me a latte.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
Gotta make some more of that chili.
You know.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, with that, thanks to Saltine and Rex for calling in and everybody else. With General T Storm will bring you on momentarily. NFC Game Boy, WrestleMania now is the topic. Of course, you was there live. You actually was there in the flesh with Princess Peach.
I've seen it in its entirety.
Yeah.
Majority of it. I did miss some scenes. The only big scene I missed was Rusev's entrance. I didn't see that because I was helping.
Oh, nice.
I was helping one of my girlfriends get some food, so I actually did miss his entrance.
Doing boyfriend duty.
So I did.
Man, you missed Rocky IV in 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, that's what everybody told me. I mean, I missed the entrances and stuff. I saw the match.
Like a ball.
I just missed the entrance. But yeah, I figured that's how they was gonna go with it, with the videos and stuff they had, the little vignettes they had on dayday.com. So I wasn't when I heard the Russia anthem, I was like, okay, I see where they're going at with this one.
It was Rocky IV all over again.
Let me say this because I'm currently driving back to the city I am staying in. I was in Sacramento, and I'm in the car, so I'm I'm on the air, but I'm in the car, and my battery life is starting to. I'm at 59%, so I think I'm good. I think I'm good enough to finish the show. But let me try to explain to y'all. This has been my 5th WrestleMania in a year. My 5th WrestleMania overall, and every year we go, and we had a great time. I was there last year, of course, in New Orleans. I was there, of course, at New Jersey, Miami, Atlanta. And yes, this year, Atlanta. That's where it started at. And this year, WrestleMania, I have a lot of great things to say. First of all, my expectations of it was not that high. The stadium is beautiful, the Levi Stadium. I went to the bathroom and came back in less than 5 minutes. And if you go to a Monday Night Raw or if you've been to a WrestleMania, when you go to the bathroom, it's going to take a while. But they had so many bathroom stalls and and the lines was moving so fast. I went to the bathroom and came back to my seat in like 5 minutes. Like literally about 5 minutes. And I went on the Divas match, so I thought I was going to miss something, but I came back in time to finish watching the rest of the Divas match. I thought it was 5 minutes, but, I guess, she wanted to put on a little show for her boyfriend. But anyway, my overall intake of WrestleMania was wow. Once again, I didn't think that this show would be that great. I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns. I'm a big Brock Lesnar fan. I was a little disappointed in some areas, but I think overall each match really kind of gave its own perspective to WrestleMania, and I think that's why it really was as good as it was. The only complaints I had, first of all, is the Sting match. I don't know why the NWO Black and White came out when he feuded with them in WCW, but I guess later on they tried to explain that, WCW in a whole versus WWE, the DX angle and all that. And my other kind of complaint was, of course, it was just, how can I say it? The intros. I loved them, and the intros, the entrances and stuff, I loved them, but wow, I mean? I think sometimes you just kind of sit back and I know watching it on television, it probably looked corny or it probably didn't. Shout out to fucking Triple H. I don't know how it looked at. I haven't seen WrestleMania 31 on the network. I'm talking about live. That shit was the hardest fucking. I'm not even a Triple H fan, and that shit was hard as a motherfucker. Unfortunately, he had to win the match because he's a fucking dick and he wants to show his superior power, which I didn't understand that either. But that intro was hot. The Sting one, I didn't understand that shit. Sting is, I didn't get the Japanese, whatever.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Bray Wyatt and Undertaker was going to be my match of the night. That's what I called for. Currently, it was not the match of the night. But I didn't understand why Undertaker won. I thought that he should have gave it to Bray to kind of come back a third time around, but I don't know what the hell they're doing with Bray Wyatt. And the whole Jeepers Creepers, him bringing the Scarecrow's life, it was cool looking and everything, but again, it negates the whole fact of he lost, so who the fuck cares? You know what I'm saying? You know your interest is hard, you lost, so whatever. The Sting thing with the NWO and Undertaker winning was really my biggest complaint, and the entrances was good. Some of them was spectacular. Of course, I missed Rusev one, which I heard was like the on-fawn of on-fawness entrances and stuff. So I'll have to go back and see that entrance because we don't have instant replay and live. The show, the matches was good. The fans was really into it. I don't know how it looked on TV, but the fans was really into it. It was really passionate. And I actually have to give a kind of a cap of water of respect to Roman Reigns. I still don't like him, but he took a hell of a beating. I don't know how I looked at him on television, but he was hurt. And I love watching young boys get beat up because I'm an old head, and these young boys think they can just run over top of us old heads. He took an ass whooping. He really did. It did not make me want to like him, even more. But I did get a tad bit of respect for him. But you can respect somebody and don't like him. So I still don't like him. I just got a little bit more.
He had a smile on his face too.
Yeah, but shout out to the women. The women in WrestleMania zapping over Roman Reigns getting beat up. He has officially now been the new John Cena. I'm telling y'all now, y'all heard it first from the boy. He is officially the new John Cena. They've done it. I didn't think they was going to find it this fast, but they actually found a new John Cena. He is the new John Cena.
You didn't think they found it
were
earlier?
Mad. Women were mad. Like, mad. Like, I'm sorry, say again?
Any tears?
Any tears? Yes. We had some tears. I seen one lady wanted to, like, run up and like, she was so fired up, she just, like, it was funny because our family was, like, laughing at her, so they was just, like, antagonizing her even more. She was just getting so mad. Oh, and shout out to the idiots who was fighting in one section. I think it was, what match was it? I think it was the Undertaker match. Because the thing was right before the main event. So I think it was the Undertaker match. Shout out to the idiots who were fighting in their little section, whatever. And the white boy who got beat up. I send my condolences to you and your family because you got your ass whipped. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, there's no WrestleMania moment.
They got rid of that real quick. So it was a black kid and a white kid, and the white kid didn't win. Well, actually, either one on one because I'm pretty sure they got kicked out of WrestleMania. But
it's fine.
He got his ass whipped. They get kicked out. It's definitely a double whammy. But a lot of people have been asking me over the course of a couple of days, how I feel about WrestleMania. And I think the caller that you have on hold, I was in New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans because that's where the Ravens won their championship.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Ravens.
Yeah. Shout out to New Orleans. Yeah, I love y'all down there. You know what I'm saying? I have to admit, I think the matches this year were better than last year. But I think that last year was more emotional. I think I think as a fan, you was more inspired because the WWE made you want Daniel Bryan to win. Whereas this year, it was like, can he do it? Can he do it? With all these things behind him, he couldn't. But we all knew he wasn't. We knew Seth Rollins was going to cash it in somehow and pin him, whatever. But my question to y'all is this: when a person puts in the Money in the Bank, don't they usually mean they go after that one person? When does it start becoming a triple threat? Because over the years, I've always noticed that they do it, and it's usually for that one, whatever the wrestler, the champion is.
Well, he inserted himself into the match.
Yeah.
And
so
that's what.
So now the Money in the Bank not only give you a chance to wrestle against the champion for the title, but it can also put you into a match even if there's already a match going on. It can just insert you into the match. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware of that.
Whatever match it is that, you could either do the RVD version, or you could announce that, okay, I'm gonna cash it in against the champion 1-on-1, or you could decide to cash it in during any match that is going for the title. So because it was a 1-on-1 match already going on, and he decided to cash it in, theoretically will make it a triple threat because he'll be the third person in the match. If it was like maybe
and that's the way he spent it.
Right. So if it was like a triple threat match already, and Seth Rollins, if it was like Orton, Brock, and if it was like Orton, Brock, and Roman Reigns, and then Seth came out and cashed it in, then it became a fatal four-way because he'll be the extra person.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. But my synopsis overall of WrestleMania, I think it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, and it wasn't like great. It was better than the expectation. It was good, and I think it's kind of average. You know what I mean? I would give it like, it was definitely better than 29, definitely better than 27. You know what I'm saying? But not better than, to me, not better than 30 and not better than 28. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I give 30 the edge is because when Daniel Bryan won, people was crying, even though he's been a champion before. But somehow people forgot about that.
And they also cried.
WrestleMania 30 was more emotional.
They also cried here in Baltimore. I saw WrestleMania 30 at Rams Head downtown, and there was a lot of girls and boys crying when he finally won it. So it spread.
Yeah, and actually, I didn't cry, of course, because I knew he was winning, but I can see how people was really built into the emotion, because even though we all go to movies and we see stories and we pretty much know the story, we still get emotional because these stories are being told and we're pretty much going through this journey with them. So when they finally, reached the end of their journey, we felt like, we was there with them. It's just a sense of human nature. When you grow up with something and you see it reach its pinnacle, you're happy, you're excited for it. So, I mean, that's just it's a characteristic that's built in all humans. So, of course you're going to get emotional because they're presenting it as, he did the impossible, which really wasn't the impossible. He did it before, but, at the time it was impossible. And that's why it was so emotional. This year was Roman Reigns getting the shit beat out of him. Like, wow. He like I said, I don't know how I looked on television, but in live, he got his ass whipped.
Yes, he did.
And some of them blows wasn't staged. They was really hurting each other. They was really hitting each other. They got a lot of bruises, and I don't think he had a black eye, but he definitely had a mark like right above his eye on Roman. Of course, Brock, messed up. They were really hitting each other, and I guess Brock probably told him that, let's make this, what we gotta do. Also, on the side note, the prices this time was astronomically high that I have ever
California.
seen. Yes, California. Wow, the rating. A bottle of water was $6. Bottled water was $6. I say, wow.
20 ounce.
A box of candy was also $6. Like, I'm talking about a movie theater box too. I ain't talking about like a big giant box. Movie theater. I'm like, wow, this the raping it continues, man. It's wow. But
still cheaper than here, than the Baltimore Arena. You know,
but later, I guess, whenever I get a chance to, I'm going to tell y'all about my dealings in going to see Hood Slam, the federation that we interviewed about a month ago, based out of Oakland, California, and that me and my girls and my family, we went to go see a show, a Hood Slam show, and Chuck, I guess I'll get ready to talk about that, you know, whenever you give me back the floor, but
sure.
I don't want to go too far off topic, but overall, I give it. It was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was a good WrestleMania. So I hope I got a chance to answer a lot of your inquiries, your questions and stuff. It was just a good WrestleMania, man.
I will say this.
It needs to be more of those Final Fantasy interests, though. I like Final Fantasy interests.
I will say this, that another live report from a fan that I was reading last night that hit me up was that Shawn Michaels actually ran past him doing a run-in for the Sting and Triple H match. He said he didn't realize it was Shawn Michaels until he went over the guardrail. He said the security made sure no one knew it was Shawn Michaels and no one knew Shawn Michaels was coming out. So he said he thinks he was the only one that knew it was Shawn Michaels when he did the run-in. Speaking of that, because when you see it on TV when you get back home, Shawn Michaels came out of nowhere. We didn't just next thing you know he was in the ring. Were you able to see NFC where he came in at?
Well, actually, I did. Because of where I was sitting at, I actually did see him run in. I also think when he super kicked, it looked like he missed his kick. I don't know if it in live, but it looked like he missed the super kick, like Danik completely. Because I was like, what the hell? Like when he did it, I was like, did he even touch him? Because from my angle and where I was sitting there, it didn't look like he hit him. He connected with the super kick. But
as far as TV, he did.
He did.
As far as television was concerned, he did.
Then shout out to WWE cameras then, because he clearly missed him with that kick.
It looked like he hit him.
Trust me, he missed him with that kick. I watched that kick right as day, right in front of my eyes. I got 20/20 vision. You got good eyesight. My hearing and memories might not be that great, but my eyesight is definitely on point, and he completely missed that damn kick. So I'll just say shout out to WWE cameras, because I know they can make a punch look, you know, they got 12 cameras, and they can make one punch look like knock you through the wall. You know what I mean?
Did the Jedi mind trick?
Oh, you know what? I'm missing something. A part I did mark out for. Power levels over 9,000. Hold up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did mark out for the over 9,000. Her shirt alone I marked out for. The segment was all right, but her shirt alone, yeah. You know, for her age to know about that, Dragon Ball is over 30, almost 30 years old next year. Excuse me, this year. It's 2015. Yeah. I'm sorry. Dragon Ball is 30 years old this year. So for somebody to really know Dragon Ball Z like that, I know it came, Funimation and them fuck it all up. They dubs and all that, but whatever. For them to know, that scene alone, yeah, that was hot. Even if she didn't know, just the fact that she wore it, I loved it for that. And that I did mark up for that. I saw that shirt. I was like, oh yeah, I need that.
Something I see that you didn't see is that Rhonda actually had makeup on her eye, because her left eye, I believe, was a little jacked. It was on that Forrest Whitaker tip from that fight she had.
Oh, for real? Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else caught that, but yeah, she clearly had makeup done on her left eye, because her left eye was a little slump.
I ain't no shorty hitter.
Well, yeah.
When I seen the tape, I turned around, I came back. It was usually him. Like that. Like wow.
Yeah. Shout out to definitely. Toph, I know you got some words about WrestleMania. Then we'll go to Shin.
Okay.
Overall, the show, I have the same feeling for it that I had for 19, where I pretty much enjoyed everything except the Triple H match. So, not much you can do about that. I thought Bray Wyatt's entrance was neat. It would have been cooler in an arena, or if it was darker. I do think being in an outside arena did affect some of those entrances. I thought Taker's match with Wyatt was just okay. It's just okay. Going into the show, most agreed that him working with Taker, it would elevate him. I can't honestly say I feel that way. I just thought the match was average. It didn't really stand out to me. When the match was over, I don't know if it was me, but Taker looked very relieved, kind of like a weight was lifted off his shoulder, and I could just tell and look in his face that he doesn't have much more left in him. Everything else in the show was fine. The tag match was fine. The Battle Royale was fine. The ladder match was okay. Orton Rollins was okay. The main event was good. The Divas match was okay. Then there was Triple H Sting. Firstly, his entrance did not match him at all. I'm not really sure what they were going for. As a WCW fan, I always thought if Sting was going to be at WrestleMania, I always imagined you would have like an orchestra playing him with violins, kind of like what you saw off the video game trailer with them wearing masks. Instead, we got this Japanese thing. And
Benihana.
Yeah, according to what I read in reports, it came off well. The crowd in the arena liked it, but it just didn't match him at all for me. I feel like that entrance was like WWE's. I feel like the entrance was WWE's perception of what they think the Sting character is, and that's just not at all how he was portrayed in WCW or TNA. The entrance did nothing for me. And as a Terminator fan, I thought Triple H's entrance completely overshadowed Sting's entrance. I feel like that they did it purposefully, to make his entrance look better. I liked his Terminator entrance. As a TNA fan, Sting, I haven't seen him look like that since 2005. So props to him. Yeah. He was in great shape. I feel that there's a little bit of hypocrisy going on about fans marking out DX and NWO fighting each other. I feel like if that happened in TNA or some other indie place, nobody would care. But it happens in WWE, and it's awesome. The Shawn Michaels super kick, it did miss. I remember when it happened live, I actually went back. Shawn Michaels angled himself. Maybe he held back. Maybe he thought that Sting wouldn't have been able to take a full kick, but he can't. He's taken stiffer kicks from Austin Aries in TNA. So I actually thought the match itself, Sting Triple H, was actually good, and I think that Sting proved a lot of people wrong. So,
Okay. Shembley.
First of all, WWE act like Sting never wrestled, period, after WCW at certain points. So, fire on them. They act like he never wrestled. I thought I was going to go down the line and see how people reviewed it, but I think Toph already went through it. But to tell you the truth, this blew my expectations. Fans, I'm going to tell you like this. I was ready to go to WrestleMania, but I sold my ticket. I said, screw it, I'm not going. I'll wait till I go to Texas and for next year. But it actually surpassed a lot of my expectations. First of all, Triple H's entrance, I actually marked out. I'm not even a Terminator fan, and I marked out. I never was a Terminator fan, completely.
No,
I never saw the
That's actually not uncommon. I know a couple people that's not really Terminator fans.
Yeah.
Like they like the movie. The movie they like the movie, but they just not really Terminator fans. So.
And real quick, quick note, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people too have only seen Terminator 2: Judgment Day. A lot of people I know act like they didn't know there was a Terminator before that movie.
Well, it was.
That's why it was so popular. Right. They didn't know
I never saw that
one. We're good.
Yeah, I never saw that.
It's cool.
the entrance I really liked was, as everybody liked, was Rusev. You know, Rocky 4, and then everybody was expecting. Even somebody said on Twitter, "I hope John Cena come out like this," and it was a picture of Apollo Creed and James Brown to Living in America, which I don't think John Cena has enough rhythm to do that one. But really, the Wyatt entrance, I really like the scarecrows and everything. It made me think about Batman a little bit, you know, Scarecrow, because he's one of my favorite villains of comic book lore because of what he can do. Now, I watched the pre-show because I went to a party and saw this, and nobody watched the pre-show, which was upsetting because being a wrestling fan, WrestleMania pre-shows are often informative, if not good. I heard the New Day Sucks chant in San Francisco along with Monday, which hopefully Vince will get on the horn about that. The Battle Royal, nobody actually cared. Here's a note for you, Tech. We talked about this last night, and I want everybody to answer this. When you are wrestling in WrestleMania, but you wrestle in a dark match, does that count to wrestling in WrestleMania?
Yes.
Toph? Toph?
Toph, what do you think? Man, I was told.
Tech?
Me, I originally said no. I only considered WrestleMania Prince if you make it to the actual event. Toph, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I'm here.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
Go ahead, Shane. You can ask your question.
Okay, now if you are wrestling at WrestleMania but you don't make the show and you wrestle dark matches, does that actually count to wrestling at WrestleMania?
That just depends. If it's announced to be a dark match or pre-show from the beginning, then no. But then you have some situations where it was announced, but then due to time constraints or other political reasons, it's made into a dark match at the very last minute. And that has happened before. I've told the story to Tech privately before, but I don't think I've ever said the story here on live radio. When I was part of PWP Radio, one of the first interviews we had was John Morrison, who now goes by Johnny Mundo on Lucha Underground. We interviewed him for about 30 minutes, and he was telling us about, you know, the parkour stuff that he does. And he told us a very interesting story about Shane McMahon and Triple H. And to kind of sum it up here, because, you know, we're running out of time, if you remember at WrestleMania 25, John Morrison and The Miz were tag team champions, and Carlito and his cousin Primo were like...
That's his brother.
Yeah, his brother were world tag team champions. That they were two tag team champions at that point. And in the build up to WrestleMania 25, they were allowed to build up that match on Raw, SmackDown, and WWE's ECW. And that match was advertised for WrestleMania 25. If you remember, that WrestleMania was in Texas. So there were a lot of people coming out to see that match because that's where Carlito and many of his family and friends were from there. And there were many people that ordered the pay-per-view to see that. You know, that was going to be John Morrison's first Mania, Miz's first Mania. You know, they built up that match. Well, according to John Morrison, Shane McMahon and Triple H got into a disagreement about time constraints. If you remember, that was when they had this battle royale with, like, divas. They had a Kid Rock performance. Mickey Rourke was there, and, you know, they did the Wrestler movie. If you remember, Jericho had a match against the Legends, and then after that, Mickey Rourke had a little knockout segment with Jericho. Like, all that stuff, it eats up time. And, you know, Vince was looking at the little transcript, and when he looked at it, he said, you know, we got to cut a match. We got to make it a dark match. And according to what John Morrison said, as of, like, the actual day of Mania, John Morrison, The Miz, against Carlito and his brother Primo, that was scheduled to be the opener. That was the plan. They were told literally like 3 hours before the show. But Triple H and Shane were arguing over what should be on the pre-show and what shouldn't be, or a dark match. And according to Shane, he felt that the Divas Battle Royale should have been cut, or the Mickey Rourke thing could have been done on Raw the very next night. Triple H said, let's cut the tag team match. So Vince decided to take Triple H's side, and the tag team match was cut. According to John Morrison, after this decision was made, Shane was very accepting. He didn't make an argument. He wasn't, sad or whatever. He took it quietly. And this was in 2009. And if you remember, later that year, he allowed his contract to expire, and Shane's been gone ever since. Now, Who's in control of WWE? Who's running NXT? Who's the one that's going to be next in line? Triple H. So Shane, he saw the writing on the wall. He saw what was going. But to answer your question, there were many fans that were upset because many fans wanted to see that match. And if you paid for WrestleMania 25 that year, because I remember I watched that pay-per-view live, and on their little, I don't know if everybody used to order pay-per-views, and before the show started, they have a little preview thing of all the matches. They had that match set up. That was advertised. And so the people that paid their money, the pay-per-view that year, they didn't get to see that match. So you had to buy the DVD and see the dark match earlier. But other matches that are announced to be on the pre-show from the very beginning, unfortunately, no. That is not on the WrestleMania card. When you buy the DVD and you put it in your computer or your whatever video game console or your DVD thing, if you just start DVD, if that match is not on, because there's 2 or 3 DVDs deleted scenes and never before seen footage and stuff. If you put it in the DVD and that match isn't there, then no, it's not part of the official show. Sadly.
Okay. And I will go on this note. The Battle Royal actually happened in WrestleMania. Hideo Itami made his debut, and that was it. But it's just something that just irked me a little bit. With putting Andre the Giant's name on it, but then moving into the pre-show. Now the ladder match, which was a 6-man ladder match, was very impressive, and everybody made jokes about Stardust looking like Mr. Sinister from X-Men.
He did.
But nobody looked at Dean Ambrose and had that little nod to Terminator the way he came out with the glasses and the jacket and everything. So that was just something. That and Dolph Ziggler's little man Paul's braid and vest that he had. So and Luke Harper's new school clothes. So
he did.
It still had the beard sweat on his shirt. So Daniel Bryan's Intercontinental Champion. Randy Orton defeated Seth Rollins, which that was a good match with a sick RKO finisher, which WWE is capitalizing on the RKO out of nowhere with King Degree security guards. Triple H and Sting. Now, where did this stipulation come from of a pinfalls and submission only match, DLC?
I think I missed that part.
Okay,
and it's a Game Boy, did you? And it's a Game Boy. Hey, did you catch that?
No, I didn't. That's what I said.
Yeah, say that again, Shane. I think I missed that.
When was the pinfall and submissions only match determined? I never heard of that until when they actually announced the match. They
It was a last minute thing going into the show. It was scheduled as a regular singles match. I figured they were going to do something at the last minute. Lillian Garcia basically botched again. She should have said this was a no DQ match, but all she said at the beginning was the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. But if you go on Wikipedia, it's listed as a no DQ match or something. So Lillian probably botched again.
Okay, now AJ Lee and Paige defeated the Bella Twins, which Paige looked really hot that night with her outfit. That was a good match. Give Divas a chance. It went on long. John Cena and Rusev, we all knew the death of Rusev was happening that day. Undertaker and Wyatt, Toph already explained it. And everybody lot of people were shocked about Seth Rollins in the end cashing in his Money in the Bank, but NXT wins, and it was a great pay-per-view. So,
but what was your thoughts?
I thought it was impressive. I thought WWE was going to lose both ways with Lesnar winning or Reigns winning. I mean, the passionate fans didn't like Reigns. The WWE Universe didn't like Brock Lesnar. So what way to end it? Seth Rollins. He's a heel, but he works, and he can get over with the crowd. And that was the best place for him to cash in on it. And to tell you the truth, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar actually told a story. I mean, Reigns had that Neo from the Matrix thing where you couldn't beat him down. He just kept getting back up. And Roman Reigns had his moment of almost defeating Lesnar, but Seth Rollins did it for him.
Okay.
So if anybody remember the Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah, no, that never happened either.
That was a good movie.
No, I didn't like the third one. But
nobody liked the second Kill Bill.
No. Well, Fat Kill Bill wasn't as bad as the third Matrix movie. But moving on from that, my overview for WrestleMania, I will note this. I think this WrestleMania this year was better than last year's. Of course, the ladder match. Had to rewatch it. The ladder match was good. Shout out to Mr. Sinister. Somebody actually remembered him. And shout out to Shimbley. What was the guy's name? Shout out real quick to Adrian Bliss and Valor Pro Wrestling, Under the Mat Radio. The other half of Under the Mat Radio was there this weekend. Very good show. There was a wrestler who had an actual X-Men hoodie. Do you remember his name, Shen?
That was Ed House, the Milkshake Man.
Yeah, shout out to Ed House, the Milkshake Man. He'll be coming to our show soon. He actually had, ironically, he had an X-Men hoodie, so he ended up buying it off of his wife. And we actually had a conversation, me and him, about Mr. Sinister, how underrated he was.
He bought it for his wife, and then he took it from his wife.
Oh, he brought it for? Oh, okay. I don't know why. Okay, bought it from my end. I thought he said he brought it from it. He brought it for his wife, and he ended up wearing it. But we had a conversation of how Mr. Sinister was underrated, and we had a conversation about X-Men and comics. And ironically, Cody Rhodes, Stardust, dressed up like him, so I thought that was pretty cool. But that's it. Mania was better than last year. The ladder match was good. I really enjoyed it. Funny, R-Truth didn't really take any big bumps at all, but that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Dean Ambrose for taking that sick bump, being power bumped through the ladder. For that, I will mention that even though, and I've seen fans mention this online and even hit me up too. Even though being outside at a WrestleMania has its advantages, I will say for certain entrances, I would have loved to have seen it happen indoors. For instance, the Triple H, the Undertaker, the Bray Wyatt entrances. Even though it was outside and they were great, I think it would have added more of the effect if it was able to be pitch black. But that's just, can't have everything right. Triple H's entrance was great. Definitely loved it. Definitely marked out for it. Sting's entrance I liked, but like Toll said, it made no sense. Why they're Japanese shoguns, or why is there even a big drum?
I think I know.
For his entrance, it didn't make any sense for me. It was great seeing Sting wrestle. Real quick, Shane, go ahead.
I think it's because it's a West Coast Polynesian thing, and they wanted to capitalize on it. But as both of you said, it made absolutely no sense. But at the same time, with Sting's the character of Sting, it was light, so you couldn't really do much. So that was one of the things you could do.
Yeah, true. Like I say, everybody's been fans of Sting for years, and even the newer fans. And the entrance was nice. It was good to see it, but it didn't make any sense. Triple H's entrance was great. I thought. Was that Toll or Shin?
That's me actually. One of the people I was talking to in line, he actually said that it kind of reminded him of a samurai thing, how Sting went down with the ship and everything, and it was kind of like a samurai. It was going with a samurai thing. I forgot about that until I just heard Shin say that. that's the way they wanted the character Sting to be, kind of like a samurai, like, you know, he's honorable, and, you know, Triple H is pretty much, you know, he's a threat because, you know, he don't need us pretty much, and he's invaded, you know. This story is from some Survivor Series, so that's why he wanted his revenge. But yeah, he's like, you know,
that's a good point.
That's why the whole bat splitting the sledgehammer thing and all that. He's kind of like a samurai or something. That's what the character Sting. That's what WWE Sting is supposed to be, kind of like a samurai.
Very weak.
Okay, that's a good. Nathan, that's a good point. Good observation, and with him saying that, it all makes sense. Now I will say, the match itself, I'm both ways with it. Triple H and Sting match, I enjoyed it, and I really don't believe the storytelling here was a little mixed. It didn't make a lot of sense. First, it was Triple H wanting to stop Sting, wanting to stop Triple H, and it was just, the build was primarily just because they were both icons, I guess, at core to their company, the Cornerstones. The match itself with them two were good enough. I don't believe it needed the influx of the NWO or the influx of the DX or what have you.
The old man.
Yeah, now with them coming out, okay, good Mania moment. We all popped, and DX ran out. Do you know X-Pac was with both factions? X-Pac was with both factions. He was with NWO and DX, but right. So X-Pac is now officially with DX, so they run out, helped Triple H. Makes sense. I guess it made sense for the NWO to help Sting, even though they had no allegiance to Sting. Even my mother, Mama Tech, is laughing at that because it doesn't make sense to her either. But if they wanted to make it WCW versus WWE, I guess it all made sense. I love Shawn Michaels doing a run-in and super kicking, doing an air kick because it missed Sting's face. Thought it was good. To Jim Ross' point, because I heard was talking to Jim Ross earlier today, and something he said to me, and also on a podcast that he did on his blog, is for those who don't agree with Triple H beating Sting, y'all may not understand the business as well as y'all think y'all do. Privy in that, there might be a rematch with Sting and Triple H at SummerSlam, or might be setting up for something else. If it's done, if you're going to do the story for WWE, WCW, it makes sense for Triple H to win. WWE won the war. Gotta have him win. Yeah, Triple H cheated. No, Triple H didn't do a clean pinfall. He hit him with the sledgehammer, which was funny because, like Toll said, with Lenny Garcia, okay, now it's a no DQ match. Sledgehammer.
It's a pennant. It's
basically the whole match itself. Really, all I can really say is, and this is where intelligent wrestling fan knowledge comes in. When you look at a wrestling match, it's 50-50. What you see in the ring is the story, and the commentary, the vignettes, the montage, and the promos, that's the story. And from the very beginning, the story that WWE has been putting in their vignettes and the commentary, the story that they're telling is Sting is the last soldier from WCW, and Triple H is the king of WWE. That's the story that they're telling. Sting, for 99% of the build-up, didn't talk. But then when he did talk on the Go Home show, he said that he wasn't there to fight for WCW. He said that was meaningless at this point. He was fighting Triple H, the corrupt heel authority figure. So Steve Borden, Sting, whatever, he's not fighting for WCW. But despite the fact that Sting said that, the commentary team, because when JBL and Cole are talking, they're basically being fed lines from McMahon. So they're saying what McMahon is telling them to say. And throughout the entire match, this is what kind of bothered me, really, was when Sting and Triple H match was actually happening, the commentary, especially from JBL, was nothing but just stab after stab after stab at WCW. Like when Triple H hit the pedigree on Sting, and when they did the little false finish, and JBL said, he failed again, like reference at WCW failing, and then when DX came out, they were trying to say DX, one of the most revolutionary factions of all of pro wrestling or sports entertainment, which is just ridiculous because HBK said in the Hall of Fame without the NWO, there would be no DX. DX is not even in the same stratosphere as the NWO, but this is WWE. They're revisionists. They're retelling the story. And then when Triple H did beat Sting, JBL said, they lost again. So like Tech is saying, the whole story of the match was WWE against WCW, which is why Triple H won. However, that's the story that McMahon is presenting, but the real story was the heel, authority, corrupt figure, Triple H abusing his power and Sting being the vigilante. That was the actual.
Right.
That was how it started, but that's not what Vince wants the fans to see, and that's the unfortunate part.
Right, and I would say, like I said, overall the match was good. Like you said, and like Shin made a good point. Sting been wrestling since WCW. WWE doesn't recognize TNA, anything they did. The match was good overall. They all shook hands at the end. It was a good moment. Just going over, I'm not going to go straight over every single thing. The Women's Divas match I didn't watch. There was a bathroom break and got more chips.
It was good.
Heard it was a lot better. Than what it was. I'll rewatch it. The Rock segment with Ronda Rousey. How you say her last name?
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey. That went way too long. Good gosh, it went for like 30 minutes. They could have just summed it up in 10.
Why? Did you do a promo in the middle of WrestleMania?
Yes, it went way too long. It just took up too much time in my opinion. Come on, Rock said his bit. Triple H, Stephanie talk. Rock gets slapped. Bring out Ronda. Have her do some move on Steph. Flip over Triple H. It was big. Good publicity for WWE. Right. Good publicity for WWE, for ESPN. All of that worked out. The main event match was great. Thought it was a lot better than what I thought. Told a great story. NFC Game Boy, you didn't see this on TV, but Roman Reigns was smiling and laughing at Brock while he was getting beat up. Showed a good match. Seth Rollins cashing in was a good save. Brock still looked strong. Brock didn't get pinned. There are videos going around of saying that Seth Rollins, you can hear him thanking Roman Reigns while he pinned him. Undertaker looked good. Solid black Undertaker. Undertaker had if you noticed this, he didn't have any special attire. He didn't wear any demon or any kind of logo on his tights. It was a straight black coat, black hat, black pants, black boots. He looked in a lot better shape. He looked like he gained weight and muscle back. It made sense. I know NFC Game Boy, you didn't like the fact that Bray lost, but Bray, this is what you call a rub. Bray Wyatt basically kind of got over for a win, and it was a dry rub. He wrestled WrestleMania. Hashtag dry rub.
Real quick, since we're running out of time, Tech. Since we're running out of time, I'm still here in California enjoying this lovely weather. I see we running out of time. I have to let the fans out there of Under the Mat know that NFC Game Boy Friday night was at Hood Slam. And not Friday night, excuse me, Saturday night. Saturday night at Hood Slam. And honestly, and I know this is very far-fetched, Hood Slam was damn near better than WrestleMania. I am a true Hood Slam fan now. I interviewed the owner. We talked to him before on the show. Hood Slam is the motherfucking truth. I don't even smoke weed like that. I'm not really into drugs like that and everything. But shout out to all the workers. Hood Slam was the truth. I seen some of the most craziest, obnoxious stuff I ever saw. And it was just awesome. You know what I mean? It really was. It was awesome.
Good.
Hello? And, check out the interviews that I got. That's going to be up hopefully tonight or so. The interviews that I've got with the cast, some of the performers of Hood Slam. And I'm going to try to get some more information about that particular show. They have another show for Thursday. But, wow. I told Shin, Tech, I guarantee you, if you watch a Hood Slam show, you'll be blown away. Like, I've never seen anything like this. And I mean, like, the stuff that it's like ECW on crack. It's
basically.
What's this called again?
Like no, I'm sorry, ECW on weed. Shout out to my girl.
More like
it's
ECW
on weed.
Crack.
Okay,
like,
I'll check it out.
I'm gonna say weed. It's like ECW on weed. That's a better analogy. I don't say crack.
So I will tell you, I saw the videos on YouTube, and there's a guy that's dressed up in cosplay like Super Mario, and there was a scene in there where he runs around the ring with the star, the invincibility star, and people just fall out every time you touch them.
Wait, is this the promotion where those little Egyptian dudes like stop time and they do crazy stuff?
No, that was another one. I remember that.
Hold on.
Okay.
It probably could. I don't know. They use a lot of character. They use a lot of audience participation. Like, the audience is really part of the show.
Look up.
It might be ECW days.
Yeah, look up Hood Slam on YouTube. I'll send you the links. We had we're good buddies with the owner Khan. He was on our show actually not too long ago.
And folks, also that NSC Game Boy has a what I call as a working title, the NSC DLC blog that he's been sending me, that I've been posting on the like page, and I will piece that together with exclusive content that only you could see on Under the Mat radio like page, and also his interviews with the cast of Hood Slam, including the one that scared me by the name of Drugs Bunny.
Yeah, it just sounds disturbing.
It is.
We definitely can't.
I guarantee you've never seen anything like this before. Like, they have my utmost respect and attention. I mean, WrestleMania, of course, is WrestleMania, but I put these guys. They got something there, and you know, yeah, they got something. But
NSC, we did. Yeah, no, we got some minutes. Need to do some quick plugs real quick. I also do want to make an announcement that our good old buddy Jim Ross, good old JR, will be here in Baltimore, Maryland on May the 16th at Rams Head Live. If you need any information about any tickets, please hit up Rams Head Live website. I can't think of the address at the moment, but just Google Rams Head. That's RAM ' Head. HEAD.
Baltimore. Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, Maryland. Under the Mat Radio will be there live for that event. We'll be doing exclusive video work. Shout out to also Baltimore Comedy Factory. We'll be doing work with them soon with Jake the Sneak Roberts and former WWE superstar Kazani, as they will be promoting their new comedy special. Also,
don't forget Dag.
Yeah, don't forget David Allen Greer gave us big old shout-outs. Shin Blade got to do some work with him. Got to meet him. He'll be coming up as a guest of us on the show. David Allen Greer, what Shin calls him Dag. Also, this Saturday, UWA and ACW Ultra Class Best of Both Worlds will be in
That's UWA Tech.
Yeah, that's it, UWA and ACW. South Connersville, Pennsylvania. We will be there this Saturday, live, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Current TNA star, Brodus Clay, and what's his name, Shin Blade, on TNA? Tyrus, I believe. Yeah, Tyrus.
Yeah.
Will be there. Also,
Ethan
Robbie
Carter's
E. and the host of
bodyguard.
Yes, and the host of a lot of other great guys. Current TNA superstar Robbie E. will be there as well. Prodigy will be there, looking for hugs from everyone else. The Vampire King, Kendrick Kamari, Jimmy Dream, Blackout, Ruckus and Black G's, our boy Shane Strickland, TJ Sykes, Serafini, Casey Carlisle, and a host of other greats will be at this event. We'll be there live this Saturday. For any tickets, please hit up www.unlimitedwrestlingaction.bigcartel.com. We'll be posting this event on the show page. With all that being said, Toph, any shout-outs?
While you're over there in the California area, make sure you listen to California Love of Tupac and Dr. Dre. peace and condoms and all that.
Yes. Shout out to Frankie. Shout out song to Frankie Beverly and Mays singing California. And it's a game we need to look that up also, since you're in California.
Yeah. Oh, and to the fan that told me about the In-N-Out Burger, yes, it gives a thumbs up. Great place, yes. In-N-Out Burger, California.
Shout out to In-N-Out Burger. Shout out to Suge Knight also. As Toph said, Suge Knight is better with diabetes and his bail. Shimblade.
Also, there will be a new episode of the Road Trip blog. It's been a little late because of WrestleMania weekend. I am working on the NSC blog as well as the interview that we had with the Adrian Bliss and also our favorite guy, the icon B.J. Walker, who prays and begs us to give him interviews, even though he kind of shames us on camera. Also, shout out to On The Go Wrestling with Heavy J, who gave Tech and I individual interviews. Make sure to look that up. If you can't find it, we'll repost it for you.
Please do. And with that being said, we got to go with 10 seconds left. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane Blade. Thank you, Toph. Thank you, NSC Game Boy Rex. And you all